So one of the things that we did last week, we took the opportunity after the loss to Southwestern, in which we did not play well enough to win the game. We took that opportunity to talk to our players and teach them how to bounce back. And so we, taught them what you can and cannot do in a game in order to be successful. And so we were able to grab their focus, grab their attention, show them where we made mistakes, correct those mistakes, and show them how we can never repeat those mistakes. The kids bought into the message. They were focused. They were ready to roll all week in practice. They prepared hard, through film prep and practice sessions and stuff like that. And so they responded in the way that we wanted them to respond this past week versus Golden West. Saturday was our first official game versus an upper-level conference, upper-level opponent. We played Southwestern. They are the National Central, but we historically have known Southwestern as an American Conference team. So Golden West was our first opportunity to play a historic, National Conference team. And so I think there may have been some unknown there. Our guys didn't necessarily know the difference. They never competed at that highest level. And so the good thing is that, our guys are working towards meeting the Olympian standard of performance week in and week out. We teach our guys that the only prereq for us is that there's a football field for us to play on. And so once the game started, once the ball's kicked off, it's go time. You have an assignment to do. You have a technique to execute, and our guys minimized the mistakes. We made the plays, and we were able to get it done. So we decided to go up tempo this week versus Golden West. Through film prep and preparation, we thought that schematically would give us an advantage. Some of our plays are a lot of times 3 plays in one, and so when you're doing that type of play fast, it gives the defense some fits as far as getting the line, making the right checks, being in the right places. And so when we saw early in the game that it was actually benefiting us, we decided to roll with it through the first half. And so it was good to us, and so they were really big up front, and we felt like they were bigger than we were, and we're pretty big, but we felt that the advantage could be gained by making those big guys run east and west as opposed to north and south, and so it definitely worked out on our behalf. Yeah, so we totally anticipated all week their starting Q being a gunslinger, and he's a super talented kid, and when he exited the game by injury, I believe it was late in the second quarter, they brought in another quarterback who was very dynamic with his legs, and so Coach Jennings did a very good job of getting the defense coached up. After you prepare all week for one thing and then you get something different, being able to make those sideline adjustments goes a long way. And Coach Jennings is one of the best at making sure that we're making the opponent do things that they don't want to do. And so the Q was able to make some yards running the ball, but at the end of the day, when you can make a team one-dimensional by having quarterback runs, you have a pretty good chance of being successful. We start with our co-defensive MVPs. Hugh Anthony and Devin Sanders both play on the defensive line, and they both caused havoc all night. 2 local kids, one from Mar Vista and one from Mira Mesa, who stepped up and just lived in the opponent's backfield. And so at any level of football, when you have defensive linemen playing in the backfield, it's tough to get anything going, run or pass. And so creating that havoc, implementing that doubt in their O-line was something that I thought we did a very good job of. A couple other guys made some really big-time plays. DJ Dotson had a huge PBU, our pass breakup. Daryl Weathers had a nice pass breakup as well as an interception that he returned all the way to the 5-yard line. And so once you get, that trash can, Tina banging and the turnovers are happening and the defense is starting to feel the momentum on their side, they did a really good job of capitalizing on those opportunities this weekend. So with the 24-hour rule, we talked to the players about, enjoying the victory. Winning a college football game is pretty difficult. It's a lot of work, a lot of prep goes into it throughout the week, and so you want them to enjoy their success, but you do not want them to become, complacent in the fact that they experienced success last week. So we give them Sunday to enjoy it, and talk about that last week's game, and enjoy the success of that night. But when they get back to campus on Monday, we'll have one last final film review of that week, and then we're closing the book on Golden West. We're moving on to L.A. Pierce in this case this week, and so it's a deal where we want them to enjoy the win, but we can't become hungover on that success because you have a quick turnaround for the next opponent. And if you're celebrating beating Golden West on Wednesday of L.A. Pierce week, you're in trouble. And so we want them to enjoy it, but flush it and move on to the next one. Our goal every week is to be 1-0. And so today's Tuesday, so we're 0-0 with the goal of being 1-0 Saturday evening when we board that bus to come back to San Diego.